morning. I usually don't come on this early. I always come on in the afternoon. So I know it's going to be like a shock to people like, oh my God, you're live. Let me share this in my Patreon really quick too. See if it's going to let me share. Copy. Okay, I'm back. I fixed it. Yes, I had to, I put paid members. I need to make it public. Let me make sure I make this public. Good morning. Jen, how you been? How's everything been going? It's been a long time since I seen you. I know you've been. Okay, there we go. Okay, because Jen, let me tell you something. That is a hustler. Okay, Jen will get to the bag. Okay, I remember Jen used to be doing everything, and then the last time I seen you, you was making soap. How you been doing with your soap? It'd be so good to see you. If you have time, sometime I think in July we having a soap night where we getting together. Hey Donna, we're getting together on like I think it's probably gonna be like a Friday night, and we're gonna do wine soap. If you have time or whatever, I'll send you a link when we doing it, so you can come and hang out with us. It'll be really nice. We doing some wine soap, and we got a fragrance. It's a Merlot wine fragrance, and it soaks really well. So I probably got to get with the girls pretty early to get their fragrance, because by the time that time come around, it's probably gonna sell out because it's on it's on sale. So and it's really strong. It smells just like alcohol. Like so. It would be nice if you could join us. Good morning. How you doing? Happy Thursday. Yes, good to see y'all. Yes, we coming in for some candle conversations today. Listen, we got some stuff we're gonna talk about, and also I'm actually going to start making my massage candles, and just kind of testing them on my skin before I post the recipe in the Patreon. Trying to think of what container I'm gonna use, and also I want to cut the recipe because I don't want to sell those. And sometimes when you make stuff, you know how you just make stuff just to test it, and you'll have like five of them. I'm like, I don't even want five. I just want like maybe like two, just to, I don't even want two, I just want one. So hey, good to see y'all. So guys, I am coming live. It is that time of the year. We going into the fall. The fall will be here before you know it. So y'all already know that it's time for you to start getting your fall fragrances. I just really don't know when I'm had the time to meet with everybody, because it's time for us to start putting together our list of fall fragrances, the top fragrances for the fall. And I do have like a lot of that in the Patreon. So there's a lot of it in there, but we're going to have to come together and get like a list together of like everybody. We all going to just say, oh, I love this, I love this from this company, I love this from this company, and just come together and do that. So we'll probably do that um sometime in July, because we'll have that time in July. I won't have the responsibility of like taking the kids to summer camp and all of that, because that's all over this week. So we'll have more time in July. But guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been incredibly busy. This events. I've been busy. So I seen that a lot of people been looking for me on Facebook, and I got a message from somebody the day before yesterday, and they were telling me, they was looking for me on Facebook, and another person sent me a message on YouTube about Facebook, and then another person said something about Facebook and Patreon. And I think I told you guys exactly what happened with Facebook. Like I do have two groups, but I let my moderators run it for me, and if they have anything they want to offer in those groups, as far as like advertising their businesses or classes, doing any kind of classes, you guys just let me know. If you're a moderator in the group, you let me know. You reach out to me, and you are very welcome to do that. So if you are a moderator in the group that has the 100,000 members, or if you're a moderator in the group that has the 5,000 members, and you have like you want to do wax melt class, or you want to do a candle making class or whatever, you just send me a message and you let me know, and we'll, figure out how you can go about it, or what you got to do or whatever. I am definitely open to that. I will not be no longer utilizing Facebook to advertise my businesses and stuff like that because um can I be transparent with y'all? Is it okay to be transparent? Is it okay? I want to be transparent. Say transparent if it's okay to be transparent. Oh, look at the little bunny rabbit outside. So cute. That's just a little bunny. I just want to catch him and put him inside of a little cage, but he like to be free. Um, okay, so for me, when it comes down to Facebook, Facebook can sometimes be a community that they can be more so like lookers. You know what I mean? And lookers, and then they just want everything to be free. And so for me, I do this full time. You know what I mean? And I not only do I do it full time, I have a boatload of children. You know what I mean? And I have other responsibilities, so it's impossible for me to be on there giving out wick sizes and things like that all day long. So, Facebook is definitely the community where they want things to be free or super duper cheap. They'll hop in line for a $5 class, but if you go to them and you say this class is going to be $50, $60, or 75, that's when they all start acting crazy. And so I don't have time for it. I built a community outside of Facebook. I'm very appreciative of the Patreon platform, the people that have joined the Patreon. I will say that the members that's joined my Patreon they've inspired me. They've motivated me because for a long time I stopped selling my candles, and I stopped selling like my wax melts, my candles. I was just making this stuff. And so when people see me in the past and they see me making those videos, and they don't see me with like gloves on and stuff like that, and I may have been making like, I remember it was like a whip soap, and this lady made a nasty comment and was like, "Oh, it's brown stuff on the countertop," and I was like, "That's candle dye," and she was like, "Oh, and you didn't have no gloves on and all this kind of." I'm like, "This is for me. I'm gonna use this soap. I don't sell it." So, um, yes. So so now I'm back to selling it, and I just want to say, I want to give a huge shout out to the people in the Patreon. And I want to say thank you to them because they always saying thank you, Diamond, thank you, Diamond, thank you, Diamond, and they don't realize that they were the reason why I got back out and I started selling again. It's like they literally, um, people like April, Sharice and Zakia and Violet, they always would say, thank you, but no, y'all motivated me because I was so discouraged with my products. So I want to talk a little bit about candle making, the dangers of starting a candle business and being not prepared. And also, I want to talk a little bit about the things that go on behind the scenes that can also discourage you and deter you from what you're doing. I want to talk about that. Like, those times when you go out and you may get a few sales, and you just automatically just go and say, this is not working. So I lived in Atlanta for a long time. Like, I lived in Atlanta metropolitan area for, I would say, 12 years, like 12 years. And so when I was there, it was like very discouraging because anybody that know anything about living in like California, Atlanta, I would say DC, uh, those are like areas that are very um, popular for people just moving and streaming from all over the world just to come there. So 12 years ago when I lived in Georgia, when but still Georgia, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not in that area. I'm not in that area anymore. Um, when I lived there, I was like entering into like a entrepreneur type of atmosphere. So I thought, because everybody worked for themselves in Atlanta, that Atlanta was going to be the place where my business was just going to boom. It was just going to be an exciting place. It was the opposite. It was so many people selling candles, so many people selling wax melts, so many people selling soap, to the point where it was overcrowded, over flooded. Like, if anybody know, if you live in North Carolina, if you live in South Carolina, you guys know that Georgia have become overcrowded to the point where you can't even drive down I-20 without encountering just traffic on the I mean, the most. minute, just nothing, small places. They all having the same experience. They're just, the traffic is getting bad there. So because of that, you just have a lot of makers there, a lot of hustlers, people selling stuff out of their trunks and stuff like that. So when you pull out your candle, they're like, oh, that's nice. Oh, you get the oohs and the ahs, but it's really not, it's really not selling. So that was what was happening to me. I was going out to the pop-up shop, and as beautiful as my candles was, I was getting very discouraged because people were picking up my candles and saying, I can't burn this. Oh, this is so cute. Look at this girl. Look at this. And then they would just sit the candle back down. And I would just be like, wow. So I never forget, I went to this one pop-up shop. I went outside. I had it set up so beautiful. And I spent so much money. I mean, I literally prepared because they said it was going to be a block party. And I prepared like almost 100 candles. I'll never forget putting and I'm being very transparent with y'all. I'll never forget putting my candles in the trunk and putting them in the car. And my friend was helping me move all the candles. And I'll never forget just putting them in the car and just having, like, it was just all of the candles just like melting, and they was just all destroyed, and it was just so bad. And I got home, and I just never forget just the feeling of like, I was like, God, I'm like, I'm not supposed to just be doing this. This is horrible. Like, I was like, this is so discouraging. And my candles were so beautiful. But, and I went from that event, and I had think I went to another event, and I got there, and it was in a hair salon, and the lady advertised it as if it was going to be in the plaza. And y'all see me, I had like a tear come into my eye just thinking about those moments. And and man, and so I remember it being in the plaza, and I got there, and it was inside of a hair salon. And I told the lady, I said, ma'am, you advertised it as if I was going to be in this plaza, and it was a Dollar Tree and a Walmart. And I was like, wow, this is going to be it's a very busy area. She was like, no, it's going to be inside, because of the fire marshal and, all this kind of stuff. We got to do it inside. And so I was like, ma'am, I paid you $125. And I'm like, can I have my money back? And at that particular time, I was just a single mother with children, just trying to make it and making my candles just to make money. And she was like, no, there's no refunds. And I was just so angry. And I was like, how are you going to do something like that? And I was so mad. And my friend was with me. And she was like, just calm down. Her name was Cynthia. She was like, just calm down. And I paid for her spot too. Because I was just, I was being a friend. I paid for my spot and her spot. So not only did I lose my money, I lost her money too. Like, it was all a waste. And so after that, I got so discouraged with my candles to the point where I parked them, I put them up, and I did not want to sell them. I was selling online. And when I was selling online, I'll never forget what happened online. All of this happened. And I want you guys to hear this out, because this is going to like motivate some people. And it's going to I mean, open up the aisle and say, okay, this is possible. This can possibly happen. One woman ordered a bulk order from me online, and she ordered the bulk order, and I stayed up all night preparing it. I got all of the stuff ready. I boxed it up. I made sure it looked good. I put the care cards in there. Everything was good. Ice packs in there. Paid all this money to ship it. Got it to her, and she filed a dispute. She filed a dispute, and I lost every dollar that I had just put into the time, the box of candles, the everything. I lost all of that money. Now I know I ain't lost it, because devil, you stole that from me, but you have to restore sevenfold in the name of Jesus. But on the other side of it, I had lost that. Okay? And so when that happened, I was extremely discouraged, and I said, I don't never want to sell another candle. Okay? I don't never want to sell another candle. I will stick to teaching online. So I left. So people was like, thinking out, they was contacting me for bulk orders on Instagram. Can I get a bulk order? And I was like, no. Because I looked at everybody like they was a thief. After that happened, everybody was a suspect. So I started teaching online. And I started just teaching so much to the point where, like, I was selling my classes on Facebook and things like that. And I noticed that Facebook was very, it was just a little funny. You know, they would want the classes, but they wanted them like extremely cheap. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to pay for this place that I live in? You know, living, electric, whatever bills I had. How am I supposed to do that? You know, and so I was on Facebook for a while, and I'll never forget. People was approaching me and asking me like, "Hey, could you do Patreon?" And I was like, Patreon, what the heck is that? Absolutely not. Because I was at that time I was closed minded, and that my at that time my husband at the time, he was telling me like you need to get on Patreon, but I was very stubborn. I was very stubborn. I was prideful, and I wouldn't listen to him at all. Like I was not listening to him. I didn't want to hear nothing he had to say, and that was just how I was with men in general. So I just ignored it. And so we had ended up just splitting. And so I was just in a situation where I was just taking care of everything by myself. And I was like, you know, selling the classes, hustling, hustling, hustling. Then I finally said, I was like, you know, I was like, God, I just want a consistent income. You know, I just want an income that whereas though like it's flat, is you know. And so that is when like people just started approaching me about the Patreon again. And I was like, well, let me see about it. And I went and I saw all about it, and God being rich in mercy, when I went back to Facebook, I just put up like 4 classes on the Patreon. I was not prepared. I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna do it as I go, whatever, you know. But Ashley goes and put a post up and lets everybody know that I had a Patreon. And when she does that, all these people started joining, and I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Oh my God, I gotta post. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And you know me, and I'm just up there just posting night and day because I'm just the type of person that's not lackadaisical when it comes to things. And I'm just like, okay, let me do this. And so that is how we got to the Patreon. And now, flash forward, I think we got about 300 and something members in the Patreon, and it's constantly growing every single day. So Ashley told everybody, it was just like it was the newspaper. She was like, Diamond on Patreon, Diamond on Patreon. So now, you know, and so I started doing the Patreon. And when I got into Patreon, the people that's in the Patreon began to encourage me. Like we would come together. Still to this day, we do it. We come together, and we do like meetups and hangouts and stuff like that. And so they just started saying like, Diamond, take that stuff out and sell it. You know why? Because I was like, y'all, look at all this stuff, like cereal bowls everywhere, all this stuff just sitting around in my garage and on my back porch. And it's like, Diamond, what are you doing with all this stuff? Why don't you go out and sell it? Like, do it again. Do it again. Everything that you let go of, go back and do it again. That's how the Patreon people were doing me. They would talk, and so we would talk, and they would go out to events and stuff like that. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I have a real passion to make this stuff. So it was like, why are you giving up on it? You know. So that is what can happen to you getting into a candle making business. You know, so we coming together again, actually, the Patreon members, we're coming again on the 5th of July, the first Saturday in July. And y'all want to know what we're going to be doing? Do y'all want me to go get it? Do y'all want me to go get what we actually going to be doing on the 5th of July? If you guys want to know, you just put it in the comments. And so we're coming together again, but when we come together, we never just come together and just make stuff. We always come together and we literally like get stuff from one another. Like the last time we came together, um, April was such a blessing. Man, April gave so much. She shared with us like, you know, she was like, cause I was making like some bug spray and stuff like that, and I was using like fragrance, and I noticed that, you know, the bugs would like start biting me after a certain time. So she came and she was like, I'm just looking outside as a bunny rabbit like hopping around out there. And I'm like, it's just so cute. So she gave us the information to get like the essential oils for the Lolo. I mean, for cheap. And, you know, it was a blend. And yeah, so we were blessed last time we came together. So we're about to come together again. And let me go and get, say yes. Let me go and get, she said, girl, I wants to know. Okay, so let me go get the box. I'm gonna go. It's a box. I gotta grab it. box. Right here. All right. So I had to grab the box. But this is what we're going to be doing on our next meetup. So these are freshies. If you guys never seen these before, they're cardstock freshies. They're really, really strong. They hang up in your car. As you can see, there's string inside of it. So I like different ones with different. My son, my 8-year-old, he made this one right here. I don't like it, but this is him. He made that one. I actually ended up going and getting that one to replace that one because I like that one better. So they all hang up in the visor, and we use a really high scent load, fragrance load, and we actually got the beads off of Amazon. So you didn't have to travel far to get them. So all of them have like different pictures and stuff on them. Like this one is Alabama Roll Tide. This one, he liked this. He's 8, so he did that one. It says sup. That's the one that's on my thumbnail. And this one is 1 in a million. Melon. So this one is a watermelon fragrance. So we just did like different ones. Like all of them just had something different. And this one says that take time for yourself. And this is like a I think this is a lemon fragrance, if I ain't mistaken. No, it's not. This one is sour apple. I got like different fragrance in all of them. This one is a Trump one. I'm voting for the felon. And this one, what fragrance is this? I gotta open it because these are smell-proof bags. You can't just smell it through the bag. So you gotta open it up and unsnap it. And we try to keep them snapped. Okay, so this is like a new fresh car fragrance. That one is like a fresh car fragrance. So that's what we're going to be doing. I just had so many ones that we made. Like once I make something, I typically go ham with it, y'all. And I just make so much of it. And I made a lot of these. I made a lot of them. And so it's different ones. I just had to get to everything. And I got some more. This one says what the cluck. Yes, this one says what the cluck, and it's a chicken. And that one, it has a mix. I started blending fragrances too, so that I didn't have to keep making the same one. And if you guys want to make these, we're having a free class. So if you guys want to come, you can definitely come for free. It's a free class, but you have to be in the Patreon on a $20 level. So you can just come and join us and take advantage of the benefits for a whole month. If you want to just come and just be a part of that class, that's fine. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to make them and how to scent them very, very, very strong. I mean, like super strong. This one is the Tennessee Titans. And this one says, enjoying my space. So we just did a lot of them, and it drew a lot of kids too, because a lot of them was like, oh my God, what is that? What do they have? And so I was, we sold some last weekend at a pop-up. So yeah, so we did that, and then this is his business. So he did some car freshener, some room sprays, but you could tell it's a kid because this is his logo, and it's so plain and basic. So that's, my 8-year-old son, he started his business. So he's selling car stuff. So car freshies and car freshener. And he used like just some good fragrances like apple candy and stuff, like everything that he actually liked, he used. So if you guys want to come and you guys want to come and join us or whatever, you just go to patreon.com and join the Patreon, and you can get in there, and it's a free class. You don't have to pay additional, but you have to be on the $20 level because that's what we do the classes at. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna be doing that. We come together to do that. All right, and that's cool. So let's finish talking. So yeah, so we started coming together to do stuff like that, doing different projects. And when we started coming together, they started encouraging me to go back out. No, it does not say you have to pay for that class. It did not say that. You're mistaken. Yeah, I wouldn't charge you for that. I said that that's the free class of the month. Every month we have a free live class in the Patreon. So that's the free live class of the month. You definitely don't have to pay for that. And so when I go out and sell them, I'm selling for like $10 a piece. I sell them for $10. And they last a very long time in the car because we've been like testing them out. And so I haven't had to change out one yet, and it's been over a week. Um, oh, thank you. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. We always learning new stuff in the Patreon. It's never a dull moment, okay? All right, so now we can get on the candle making business side of it. So that was the business side of it. So I had like those moments where I was, getting discouraged, and I was just throwing my candles to the side, and I only was making them for YouTube and perfecting them just for the YouTube and for the Patreon, but I wasn't making them to sell them because I was super duper duper discouraged. Oh baby, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Sassy Sue, I'm not gonna do that. If it's a free class of the month, because we listen, I have classes on Patreon that you have to pay for. So let me get that right. So the classes that are additional to what you get during the month, because we only have one free live class a month. And this month we're doing freshies. One. During the summer, I actually was going to cut all the classes, but I wanted to do a freshie class because I was like, yeah, I mean, I think they need to come and sit and see all of the things that they need to do and not do. So I had a lot of things happen to me when I was making them, and I was like, oh my God, okay, so they need to know that they can't do this. They need to know that they can't do that. They need to know that they need to seal it up right away. They need to know this. They need to. So that's why I did a class, because it's hard for me just to make a video and just I need to be able to have a whole class on there. Good to see you. So we don't have candle making classes in Patreon for free anymore, because of the issue with us having so many recorded ones. Like it's over, like when I tell you guys, it's so many recorded classes in there. Like what the heck? It's 700 posts. So majority of those posts are recorded classes. So when it comes down to candle, I have 70 candle posts. So for me to have another live candle making class in the Patreon, I honestly think that the people going to be like, what else can we do? Because you got a lot of advanced candle makers that's already there, and then you got some newbies that's coming in. So I could have a newbie class, but what I decided to do was, to be fair to everybody, I took the candle making class off of my Patreon. And so if you go to diamondshinesoap.com and you want to learn how to make candles, right now the candle making class is on sale, but you only can get it during the sale for $40. And it's about 6 jars, I believe. We're going to be doing about 6 jars. And on top of you doing the 6 jars, like if you go and choose these particular jars, you also can bring the jar that you decide to use in your business. And guess what? You'll get the wick size at the beginning of the class. So that means that it does not matter what jar you choose. If you come to me and you tell me, okay, Diamond, this is my diameter, I'll be like, okay, you need to use 2LX, blah, blah, blah. Use this, use that, use this. So if you guys wanted, you only can do that today if you want to be a part of that candle making class. So that means that if you really think you want to make candles in the fall, because listen, I can tell you this: Passion, Violet, April. If I could scroll up this thing, Zakia, they will all tell you that they learned how to make candle making. I mean, they learned candle making through me, and they are a success, okay? They have very good candles. Okay, and some of the stuff I think me and Zakia, we tested together. We tested. I remember we both got the black and white jars, and I was like, okay, these are the 2 wicks we gonna use. It's gonna be this one or that one, and she was like, that's the one. This the one. I think that's the jar that's behind me right now from that class we had. We had a boot camp one time, and we had used these jars and we wicked them. We was like, all right, this the one. And so this is the one that we wick right here. And it came out really good. I remember this it because it was watermelon that I used. Yep. Yep. Yes. So we wicked these together and we just perfected it. So it's very important for people who want to make candles to know that you can't just make candles, baby. I had some people come to me for coaching over the years, and I'm telling you, A lot of them were just trying to jump straight into candle making, and they were going to YouTube and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all, and I ain't gonna mention the lady name, but I'm gonna just give y'all a person. I'm gonna just say a person. There is a very sweet, beautiful person on YouTube, and she teaches soap, and she don't teach candles. So a lot of people went listening to her. She says that's why I won't leave. It's been years. Yes, Passion been up under me for years. We listen. We learn from each other. We not only that, we get look. We gonna make sure we right. We gonna get sales. We gonna get like we gonna we is stocked and ready. Okay, we stocked and ready. We ain't got to get ready for the winter. We ready. Um, she teach soap making, but she made some candles. And she suggested a wick. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and try this out. Because I'm like, I never used the wood wick in my tin. I was like, I'm going to try this. And when I tell you, I went to try it and I got the most high, unsafe, disgusting flame. And not only did I get a high, unsafe, disgusting flame, because I'm going to show y'all these wicks. Because listen, one thing I do is I'll put a company on blast in a minute. Because they selling these darn wicks, and they are not even like, here it is. So I think this is the wick clips, and this is the wicks, and they came from Be Scented. And she said, you made my journey easy. Well, amen. So they came with, and I paid $60. This is why I got a problem with the whole thing. I wouldn't say nothing out of my mouth if I didn't pay $60. I paid $60 for this. And when I tell you, it gave me the most high flame. I don't care if I trimmed the wick down 20,000 times. The flame was high and uncontrollable. Yes. And so um, these particular wicks is what I was using in the tins. And these were the tins that I was using them in. And it gave me a weird, wild flame. Okay, so what I learned was you just can't go to YouTube and just learn candle making from people, because you can't go back to that person and be like, you told me to use this size wick, because they are moving off the kindness of their heart. So the only thing we could do is have gratitude and be like, you know what, thank you anyway, because they gave it out for free. So what I learned is you can go to YouTube and you can learn candle making from people, but even down to people that I've been rocking with for years. I was talking to one friend yesterday, and I've been rocking with her since I started. Like, I mean, we've been going 3 years strong. Anything I do, she a part of. You know what I mean? And I was telling her yesterday, because she was making candles, and she been telling, she would come to me and I'd be like, girl, because she used to be like, back in the day, I'd be like, you got to use percentages. And she would just be in there pouring into a shot glass, pouring her fragrance. And I'm like, girl, you don't use no shot glass. You got to use percentages. Like, what's wrong with you? Stop doing this. So she was still doing it. But eventually her hard headed behind got it together. And so she ended up getting the percentages from me. And I was like, stop using. Now, this is a percentage, guys. Stop using 10% in 6006. I told her that. Stop using 10% in 6006. I said, because 6006 is 30% soy and 70% paraffin. Paraffin does not need no more than 9%. Okay, because paraffin is a very high melt. You know what I'm saying? Like when you smell a Bath and Body Works candle, that is every bit of paraffin. Okay, so if it's 70% paraffin, it's going to basically work in your favor, because whatever. And so she heard me and she was like, okay. So she stopped and she's like, girl, I can smell them better. I was like, okay, good. Then we start talking about pouring temperatures. And I was like, what are you pouring at? And then she told me what she was pouring at. And I was like, girl, hell no. Who did you learn this from? And she was like, I'm like, don't you do that again. 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 And so she, of course, she took my advice, and she takes my advice, and she'll go now. Because before she was so hard headed, I used to give her this advice and she was just hard headed. But now she goes and she makes her candles and she does good. So this is the thing. You have to have a good recipe. You'll be making candles for years. It will take you so long to launch, because you can put a wick in there. You could put fragrance in there. You can even get the wax that I'm telling you about. But if you don't have the right recipe, then you don't have nothing. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the wicks. I had some woman come to me and she needed some training, some coaching, and she came to me in desperation. And I said, okay, well, what's up? What's happening? She began to tell me what was happening. So, hey, good to see you. She began to tell me what was happening. So, she went out and she was, being excited and she got a lot of supporters. And she said, I'm starting a candle making business. And so people wanted to support her. And so they want to support her. And she used two wicks inside of this particular tin. And they were about size CD, I think 14 or 16 or something like that. CD um 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's like CD 16. And so she sold it to her aunt. And so her aunt said to her, baby, I love what you're doing, Pudding, but you about set my kitchen on fire. It was the candle caught on fire. And she was like, my auntie a hater. She always talking trash. That candle ain't catch on fire. Ain't nobody else complain. And then guess what? The calls started coming in. And people was telling her like, hey, this thing got very hot. It put a black circle around my countertop. This happened. So when she got the reviews from everybody else, she ran to me and was like, oh, you, oh. And I'm like, okay, calm down. What is happening? What is happening? And then she told me and I was like, okay. I was like, all right, just it's all right. We listen, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivered him out of them all. I had to give her a scripture because I was like, I didn't know what else to say besides, girl, you done lost your rabbit ass mind. That was the only thing I had in my mind. I was like, you lost your rabbit ass mind. And so um I didn't tell her about the rabbit ass mind, but what I did tell her, I was like, the Lord will deliver you out of this. Just tell everybody that you sold the candle to. You have to make an announcement. Please do not use them. During my testing process, some things went wrong, and I truly apologize. I made a mistake. You had to let people know, and she did, and people were like, she was like, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it up to you guys. I'm going to get it right, and so launched her business a little bit after that. I gave her everything she needed to make candles, and she was on from there. So like I said, if you are joining us, how you doing, and you do not know how to get a hot throw, meaning that you burn your candles and you can't smell them. You're burning your candles and they're tunneling in the middle. They're tunneling, and they're not going anywhere. You need fragrance vendors. You need to know how to do a 3-wick tumbler, a status jar, a salsa jar, a straight sided jar, 3-wick tin, whatever jar you have, it does not matter. You need to go to the website now while it's on sale because the class is $60, but it's on sale for 40, and it's underneath live classes. So if you go to Diamond Shine Soap and you go underneath live classes, you can get your spot cheap. But if you wait, it's going to cost more. Okay. So she made those candles, and of course, she almost burned down the people's house. And then after that, we solved the problem. Then I had other people come. And so I would have like people who came to the class, and this is my listen, I lied to you not. I asked how much did you use in this candle, and it was 20% fragrance load. 20%. The average candle don't go over 12. So I was like, what the heck? You for real? You talking about the wax melts? You ain't talking about nothing that go under no fire, right? You talking about the wax melts? No, she was talking about the candle. She put 20% fragrance load inside of the candle. And I said, so where on earth did you learn this? Like, I got a video of a lady who, and I still got the video. And I never forget when I was telling this lady about something, and I was telling her something not to do, and I had to explain to her. I was like, listen, you don't understand what I've seen. I've seen some things. I got a video. She said these licenses are everything. Oh, these she's saying the incense are everything. I just want to thank you again. That's why y'all got to join. Oh, she is an incense class that's posted in the Patreon. She made the incense and she been selling them really good at her pop-ups. So that's what she talked about. These incense are everything. And also, as the person, y'all can see, it says the chocolate journalist. Listen, if you join my platform and you're good at something, you can do that there. I'm not a person that's like, oh, this is my platform. Only Diamond Shine Soap can do it. She had a class. Kanika had a class. Who else had a class? Somebody else had a class too. I had quite a few people come in and do classes and teach classes. So if you have a skill, and guess what? You don't come to my platform and just teach a class. We sow into you. We bless you. We make sure you walk out with something. I think her class was only like 30 something. Her class was under an hour. And I think the people at Patreon gave her like $160 or something like that. And it was under an hour. I think her class was maybe like 45 minutes and she got $160. So I think that's pretty good. If you can make that in 45 minutes. So if you are a part of the Patreon, you have a skill and you know how to teach something that I don't, please, by all means, reach out to me and we will make it happen, Captain. Okay? I'm no gatekeeper. When it comes down to like that kind of thing, I will not keep my mouth shut. I will tell the world that you know how to do this. Okay? And I will put you on the map. All right. She said, I just bought a house to move tomorrow. I'm so excited to set up my working area. Amen. Um, and then it says, congratulations, another room. Yes, 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 yes. So the girl came to me with the 20%, and I said, what the heck is going on with you? Are you doing this? Are you making a joke? And she was not making a joke, and she just, this was what she did. And so I went on from that. I had so many people come to me with different types of scenarios and situations. It was just some people that was just like the little engine that never could, meaning that they've been trying to make candles for over 2 years and it just haven't worked. And no matter what you do, it's just like they can't get it. And those are the people that when I open up my shop, my in person, you know, you can come in person when I open it up, and that's probably it's coming soon. And then those would be the in person people. Yes, she said we had a very good month in June. That's good. She had a very good month in June. That's awesome. So if you like, she said I want to get help. So if you need help and you want to learn how to make candles the right way, and you actually want to, I always tell people that if you come and you come to a class, you'll be making your candles and selling them in 2 weeks. Because all you have to do, because most of all the recipes are provided. Like like some people will come and you'll use this jar. And this jar right here is just like an 8-ounce mason jar, and you get your wick size and stuff like that. And I know with wicks it's only 2 wicks that's gonna work in this jar, only 2 wicks. And I give you the wick sizes, you test it, bam. What would you not sell? Why would you not sell? You learn how to pour your fragrance in, you learn what temperatures to pour it in, you learn everything you need. So why would you not be selling it? Who's saying that you need to be testing for months and months? You only test for months and months when you do it by yourself. If you got a coach, a mentor, and somebody to help you, then that's when you have that assistance and you don't have to take that long. So if you need to do it, I'm just gonna say it one more time. Get in there now while it's on sale. You sleep. It's only $40 for you to make a business that you'll be selling thousands and thousands of dollars. You know how much money we done made in these candles? The investment of $40 is nothing compared to what the return will be. You sell 4 candles, you done made that back. If your candles are $10 a piece. And Lord knows over the years you'll sell thousands. So what the heck are you waiting on? Don't be cheap, because I don't do candle. And they will tell you in the comments, I don't do candle making classes all the time no more. This is the first candle making class that we done had in 6 months. I think it's been like 6 months. Yes, we cut out all of the stress with testing. We don't do all that testing crap, because we just do one test, 2 tests, keep burning that one candle, and that's it. Because we already done been doing these candles with these wicks, these fragrance loads, everything for all these years. And nothing has changed. Same thing, okay? So, yeah. So basically, I had that. So when it came down to the dangers of candle making, because some people would just go and launch a candle business, they didn't know that if you go and you just start a candle making business, you can end up starting a fire in somebody's house. I've seen house fires. People had house fires because the candle. I've actually had experiences with candles burning up. Yeah, on me. I'll never forget one time I went to sleep and I did not trim the wick on the candle. And I just, I think I just had the baby. And when I had the baby, y'all, and I'm just being very honest with y'all, I was so exhausted because she was staying up all night and stuff like that. And I put this candle on. And when I put the candle on, I didn't trim the wick. And the wick was, the wick was long because when I burn my candles, I burn them for like 8 hours sometimes. They be just burning long. And so, I mean, just they be burning a long time. So the wick was like crazy high. And when I tell you the fire alarm was going off and I was knocked out sleep, I was knocked out sleep. I was beep, beep, beep. I was asleep because I just had that baby and my behind was exhausted. The kids came running in like, Mom, fire, fire. And I was like, what? And I just, just moved the baby to the side. I just ran in there. And I took something and I just I think what did I do? Oh, so it wasn't bad. I was able to blow it out. I was able to blow it out. So I caught it in time and I blew it out. I just kept going. And eventually it just went out or whatever because it took that. But when I started a fire in my kitchen. And I started a fire in my kitchen when I first started because I used two big size wicks. And I thought that double wicking was using two big sizes. The class is on diamondshinesoap.com. And if you go underneath live classes, it's on sale for $40. And I'm going to leave it up today, but I'm taking it down and it's going to be the regular price of $60. I only charge $60 for my candle making classes. Of course they could be higher. Yeah, of course they can, but it's only $60. What I did was when I first started, I used a jar and it was super huge. And I used like 2 weeks in it. And when I used the 2 weeks, I didn't even know like what size to use. I was just experimenting. And I had the fire next to the KitchenAid. And I just love that KitchenAid blender so much that I'm like, forget the house. Like, let's just make sure we save the KitchenAid. So I was whooping that fire out, whooping out, and I got it out with a dish rag, and I broke the glass or whatever. But I will say this: the candle smelled amazing because it was burning too hot. And so this was in the beginning when I first started, and that is how I ended up teaching candle making. Because I tell you, I had every single mistake that you could possibly think of. Like I literally messed up in so much. I messed up in the color area. I messed up in the mica area. I messed up in the glitter. I messed up in the wick sizes. I messed up with the tunneling. I messed up with the mushrooming. I messed up with the suiting. I messed up in every area that you could possibly think of. Yes. She said, girl, heck yeah, they can she said people she said that's what she said doing one okay. Okay, so the class is a Zoom is live. Okay, so that means that you can ask thousands of questions. Okay, so that's what we do in the Zooms. We talk a lot. We actually stay there for a while. So, just be prepared that day. You're going to be making some candles too. And so we're going to be talking. We're going to be making our candles. We're going to be asking questions. Matter of fact, don't come with a shy bone in your body. Don't come shy. We talk, we ask questions. Guys, I have to get my charger because my phone is about to die and I don't want it to die because I know that this will eat it up. Okay. So this is a class with a lot of people in it. So we do the Zoom. We do it over Zoom. Now the one-on-one coaching is also on sale this month. And that is I think I posted a post about that the other day on my Patreon, and that's public, so you'll be able to get the link off of there. Or you can go to diamondshinesoap.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the first page, and you'll see one-on-one coaching on there, and that's on sale. But I actually got to take that sale down because I don't really have like a lot of time because I got to prepare for stuff that I'm doing. Like today, I got to go out. So yeah, so you're gonna do it. You better move and do it quick. Okay, so all right, so let's finish talking. So yes, I had all types of people from all types of walks, and they came, and it was just people that came and learned their candle making. They went on or whatever. Some people were scared of candles, so they came to me for wickless candles, and that's fine too. You can come for wickless candles, and and then when you get comfortable enough to use a flame, that's fine too. So I don't discourage people who are afraid and just in fear. If you in that level of fear, I will help you in that arena, but eventually you have to overcome that mountain of fear. Okay, so meaning that you have to literally climb over that mountain and get to the other side and say, hey, if I desire to do this, who gives you the spirit of fear? You know, the devil. It doesn't come from God. So climb over that mountain, renounce, break covenant with that fear and say, no, fear, get out of here. I'm gonna make these candles. And so you're gonna make the candles. So you get the information that you need that, a lot of people ask, like, where do you buy your fragrances from? What fragrances work with what? Because you can see a lot of fragrances and stuff in the back of me. But all fragrances are not meant for candles. Um, all fragrances are not meant for candles. Like, I can give you guys an example. This is not a candle fragrance right here. Okay. This is a soap fragrance. And this is very strong, but it's a soap fragrance. And if you use it in the candles, it's going to smell like burning oil. Um, give you another example. I got a lot of this. These are not candle fragrances. These are meant for soap and body care products. So if you're using these and you don't smell your candles, this is why, because these are not meant for candles. All right. So it's a lot of different things that you need to know. And then you need to know companies where you need to avoid and buying fragrances from, because you may be buying fragrances from bad companies. And I can just show you one bad company uh, that you can buy fragrance from. I don't like to put down companies, but I will tell you the truth. I just, I don't like to, one company I'm gonna start picking on because I need them. I need them in my life. I got to get my wax and stuff from them. I'm close to them. But this is the company right here. If you guys know the bottle, you know the bottle. They are very bad for candles. And it's a candle store, but it's bad for candles. They don't give you a good scent throw. This stuff is very light. They cut it too much. So you'll find companies that cut their fragrances a lot. And if they cut it like that, I gotta get the charger because it's gonna die. If they cut it like that, then they're just really trying to milk the cow as much as they can, make as much money they can off the barrel of fragrance. So let me get it. All right, so I got my charger. I'm gonna plug it up right here. So yes, so some companies we avoid, and that's what you'll learn inside of the class, because you might have been making candles and you might have been doing a good job on your candles, but all that time you've been using one of these companies that are not suggested and not recommended, and that may be the reason why you can't smell your candles. So there are so many. It's a number of variables of why you can have uh, unsuccessful candles. Okay. Yes. Yes. So, okay, here we go. She said in the descriptions of the oil, they would tell you if it's body safe or candle safe. And she said, can you put a link to the class? Guys, I can't put links because it won't let me type. But what let me see. It don't let me type. Okay, but what you can do is go and to diamondshinesoap.com and go underneath live classes, and it's going to be right there. The candle making class is going to be right there. So diamondshinesoap.com, and then go to live classes, and it's going to be right there. Okay. And also you can Google Diamond Shine Soap and it will come up too that way if you Google me. Yes. So yes, you welcome. So yeah, so back to this. So I ordered this and I paid $60 from a candle maker. And she said, use this. I mean, she's a soap maker. Use this. Oh, they work. So I was thinking in my heart, I had a thought. So this was my thought. I said, Self, we need to talk. And Self was like, okay, girl, talk. She's selling these candles because she talking about she's selling them on her website. I use Parasoy. She used soy. So with that being said, Self, it sounds like to me that it's burning even hotter because her wax is softer than yours. Self, you wanted something. You wanted something. And then it was the question of how many people are actually making these candles. You know what I'm saying? How many people are actually making these candles? So these people are really going out here, and there's all these people making these candles with these wicks, and they burning like extremely hot. And so if you don't know how a candle is supposed to burn, if you don't know what the melt pool is supposed to look like in 4 hours, my friend, you can easily end up in court being sued for somebody's candle on the stove burning down. Okay? And so the live classes is underneath live classes. I'm gonna answer that again. So if you go to Diamond, because the people that want to join the class that's coming up, I gave you guys enough time to get your supplies and everything, but the sale is not gonna be there. I'm gonna make the class gonna be 60, as you see up there, 60 people on this live. It's gonna be $60, and that's gonna be after today. So if you go to diamondshinesoap.com and you go underneath live classes, and you'll see the class, and so you can get in there. And then if you wanted to do one-on-one coaching, that's been on sale all week long, and I think the sale ends on Saturday. And if you go to the bottom of my first page on the website, like when you get on there, you're gonna see, like, and it's gonna say one-on-one coaching. You just click on, and I'm standing there like this, you just click on that, and it's gonna take you straight to one-on-one coaching. All right. So so that's what I figured out. I was like, so these candle makers, I was like, they trying their best to help people with the candle thing, but I was like, it's just, it just has to be studied. It has to be studied. You got to make a lot of mistakes sometimes to learn. Just like our friend, it says the chocolate journalist. I'm sure that when she made the incense for the first time, I'm sure she made some kind of mistake. In order for her to get up and teach a class, and people coming back and they telling her like, yo, this was the best class that I've been to, dog. I'm out here selling these incense, like we love you, we care for you, we thank you so much. I'm sure she had to make a mistake. Okay. So anything you make, you bound to make a mistake. You don't Everything don't always come out perfect. Even when you make labels, when you first make your labels, if you go back to your labels that you made when you first started, you will see that those labels probably look like booty dust. They probably look like booty dust. They probably look horrible. If I can show you my products them labels that I made when I first started, oh my God. Like, y'all can see the transition of my labels now, and like, see where they have came now. You know what I mean? And see my products. Everybody always say your products and your labels look so pretty, but y'all have not seen what they look like 2 years ago. It looked like I was in Kraft macaroni and cheese working in the back with these cheesy labels. I'm talking about, they was horrible. They was horrible. They was horrible. So it took me some time to get to the place where I'm at now, where I'm able to make these labels, because I'll come with an eye. And then in the beginning, I was doing stuff like this. I hope I could be able to pull this out. This was like my first template. I was doing stuff like that, because I was, just trying to make it happen. It wasn't something that I actually liked and enjoyed, but I was just trying to make it. So, um, yes, 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 yes. So we learned so much. We learned so much together. Learned so much together. But anyway, that is it. So when you first starting, you're gonna run into a lot of problems. And so that's what we do. We come together and we avoid the problems in those Zoom classes. Like, you will run into this, but you already heard. Like, if your candles got holes in it, you got sinkholes everywhere. You like, I'm doing everything I can do. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I just got think, girl, they everywhere. It's holes in this house. There's some holes in this house. If that's your problem, then you need to come to the class, because we will fix that. Okay. So that's where we at. That's where we at. We're getting to a place in the fall. We're coming to a place where we know the fall is coming. It's time to launch more businesses. If you are a person that's just been doing soap, open up a different side of your business. Let's do the candles. Okay, let's do the wax melts. So what I noticed about this economy is, when I go on Facebook, sometimes I like, not Facebook, I'll go on, like, what is it, YouTube, and I'll be watching like sermons and stuff like that. And then there'd be people like, and they'd be like, please pray for me. I'm a single mother. I cannot make my bills. Like all of my bills are behind. I'm struggling so much. And it's the reality. And you can't just be like, oh, girl, don't speak that. No, she's telling you her reality. And so what I decided that I was going to do was I'm going to donate my skills to the shelter, to the local shelter. Like, I did not go. I had an appointment and I did not go, but I'm gonna call that lady back and tell her, like, hey, I talked to you some while ago. Please forgive me. I got, so much going on. But I'm gonna donate it to a local shelter and teach them the skill, because in this economy, you must have a skill. Okay. You cannot just do a job. It is extremely hard on people to just have a job. A job a job is not taking care. Because let me tell you something, they are inflating everything, but they're not giving you more wages. That means that the people who pay 23, because that's normal, that's like the normal going price of a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom home for rent. It's about $2,300 a month. The people that pay 2,300 a month did not get a higher pay. In fact, it just seemed like it's still at the same thing from like a year ago, almost 2 years ago. Nothing has changed. So because of that, you have to be wise like the ant. In the Bible it talks about consider the ant. What the ant do all summer is quite remarkable. You guys know that the ant, you guys think that the ant just be walking around being cute. You know what I mean? Just like eating up stuff. And I actually this morning I had to blast some out with some poison because I left 2 cherry seeds in my window. I left 2 cherry seeds in my window and they just start jumping on that cherry seeds, and there was some big old ants, so I had to just use poison and kill them. So I had like a spray that I stopped paying the exterminator, y'all. If you need exterminating and you don't want to pay the exterminator no more, I want to let y'all know it's called do it yourself extermination, and you could go and look it up, and you could buy all the stuff that they use to exterminate your house, and you could do your own extermination. Because I exterminate from the outside to the inside, and the only time I see a roach or anything like that is if it's flipped on its back dead, coming from the lady next door. But they don't even be coming in because they already know what time it is. She said, I use soy bliss wax. Can I use that class? I do not teach soy bliss because I feel like soy bliss is just like coconut. It take too long to got darn get a hot throw. I mean, the perfect a wick, and it take too long. Like sometimes, like just to get the hot throw, I had to use like tricky scents like maple, strawberry, blueberry. I had to use like very strong coffee, stuff like that, just to get it to have a hot throw. Oh, thank you. So if you want to switch over to 464 and 444, and because you just want to use soy, girl, come and you will have that thing smelling like you used a Parasoy candle. Okay. I remember Jen sent me a birthday cake tin, and I could not stop burning it in my room because it was so strong, and it was soy. It was 464. So if you want to do that, just come. Yeah, just come. But anyway, going back to what we were talking about, yes, the ant is a very wise creature. Okay. The reason why we say the ant is a very wise creature is because the ant goes around all summer long, walking the streets, gathering its food, putting it inside of a hole, preparing for the winter. Okay. So it's literally walking around like gathering, like getting ready for the winter. Like I don't care what's going on out here. Oh, summer fun, y'all having a cookout. The ant is literally walking by everybody doing the electric slide, and it's like, let me grab this crumb. Let me grab this crumb. Hey, the ant like, hey, I see y'all. Give me that crumb. And the ant is taking it into a hole and gathering and preparing for the winter. Okay, it's preparing to um eat all winter long because it goes into its, time of, I guess I would say, like hibernation or hiding season. You know, I'm open to any suggestion. I'm not married to soy bliss by any means. That's good. So join the class. Get in there today while it's only $40. Yes, and so uh Yeah, you need to, because it take too long to wick that wax. I know that wax. I used it. I got a candle that I was burning with a apothecary jar, and I had perfected the apothecary jar, but it was like taking me so long because the wax burned so soft. So it was like, okay, you can't use the CD because it burned too hot. Can't use this. You can't use that. You can't. I was like, I ain't got time for this. So I perfected that soy. Okay. All right. So come. You're gonna get you some strong candles. And I'm also gonna give you the type of um vessels that you could use to get enhance your hot throw. Not only do you get how to make a hot throw, I'm going to give you the type of vessels that you can use to enhance your hot throw, meaning to make it even stronger. Because everybody know Bath and Body Works candles smell good and they strong, but everybody don't want to buy them 3 wick tumblers. But we also want to yield those same results, and we still want them to smell the same. So if you come to that class, you'll get that. So now we talk about the ant. Let's get back to the ant. So the ant watching everybody going up. You make me happy. The ant looking like, The ant just stopped for a minute. The ant just dancing like, okay, okay, ay. And so, and the ant, but the ant at the same time, like, give me that crumb. Give me that crumb. Like, hey. And the ant walking off, gathering, preparing for the winter. So now this is why we are out. This is why we are out. Like, my schedule is full with festivals, pop-up shops, farmers markets. My schedule is full. Okay, my schedule is full. That's why I don't have them Saturday classes like I used to. And if I have a Saturday class, it's going to cost. Okay, I don't have time to sit in the house and teach a class when I could be out making money. I told them people on the live 2 weeks ago, I said, y'all, I got a question for y'all. For those who got an attitude because we're not having Saturday classes, I got a question. If you had the opportunity to sit in the house and do a class for free or to go out and make money, what would you do? Some people ain't want to answer because it was almost like Jesus and the Pharisees when they was trapped, and they was like, if I say this, then that means she gonna say this. But it was other people was like, I'm gonna go make the money. So I was like, okay. She said, I want to sign up, but I can't figure out how to sign up. Just go to diamondshinesoap.com, go underneath live classes, and then or Google Diamond Shine Soap, and it'll come right up. Diamond Shine University. Go underneath live classes, and it's going to be the candle making, basic candle making class. Is going to give you a Zoom link. It's going to give you a PDF, and you can get in there for $40 today, but it's going to not be $40. It's going to be 60. So if I was you, I would just do it now. Just get it out the way while we all talking. She said, "You ain't lying. This wax has me hot under the collar. No matter what I do, it's stubborn. I'm stubborn. It's the only reason why I haven't dropped it yet. But I'm about to. You have to. You have to. You got to listen to me very closely. If you, Crystal, come. Crystal, you'll be doing this for a long time. You'll be wasting money. You'll be wasting fragrance. You'll get frustrated. You know how many times I go to a D-Stash group and see people who had started their candle making journey and they was on Facebook asking 1,000 questions, what size wig, what size wig, what size wig, and then they end up quitting because they never yielded the right results because they thought that they can continue to go on that path. One thing you will learn, and I'm gonna give you guys some wisdom. God sat and watched the Israelites, and I think this was in the book of Deuteronomy or Exodus or something like that. And they were literally skirting around the mountain, going around in circles. They kept going around in circles. And then finally, he spoke to them. He allowed them to continue to go around in circles. And he finally spoke to them and he said, "You've skirted around this mountain long enough. Get up and turn northward." And so they left and they started going in a different direction. And so if you continue to do the same thing and is yielding the same results, it's time to get up in a different result, in a different direction. Go in a different direction. Okay, it's time. Don't keep doing it because it's going to lead to frustration. I can only imagine how their feet looked, how rusty their feet looked after keep going around that mountain. I can only imagine how it was like when it came down to like resources. If I'm keep going around the same mountain, that means that I have not quoted as the children of Israel in the book of like Exodus and Genesis. So the Israelites, it was millions. Okay, and so hey, good to see you. And so they were eating everything up. So I'm sure there was some level of shortage. You know what I mean? So when it come down to you doing that and you're not getting the results, you're spending a lot of money. You're eating up your money in testing. So just spend that little $40, girl. You're gonna get your stuff done. But anyway, the ant is preparing. So this is the time to start preparing for the next season. This is time to start getting your things, getting all your supplies and stuff like that, and preparing for the next season because the summer season is almost over. But hey, you ain't missed the summer yet. We still got some hot days ahead. We still got a lot of pop-up shops ahead. If you get your stuff now, you get your candle making journey going now. Um, yeah, yeah. So if you purchase the class, this is what I want to tell you. I've already given you wick sizes for each jar. If you purchase the class and you want to start now, you don't want to wait for the class, just send me a reply email back and tell me what wax you're going to be using, and I'm going to give you the fragrance load, okay? I'm going to give you the fragrance load. I'm going to give you the pouring temperatures and stuff like that so you can do it now if you want to do it now. If you say, I don't want to wait till, July to do the class, I want to get out and I want to start doing it now. You reply back to the thank you, the email that you got with your PDF, reply back to me and say, Diamond, I need pouring temperatures. Okay? And then you got all your jars on there. And if you want to use a 10, Diamond, I want to use an 8-ounce 10. Okay? And you let me know. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Yes. So yeah. So basically, it's the ant. The ant is out here. He don't went to the cookout and everything, but he's smart enough to know that the winter is coming, and all of the pop-ups, the festivals, and all of that kind of stuff, they'll cease. They'll kind of die down. Things become more so indoor events. You'll find mall events, things like that inside. But just all of the outdoor events is when you really eat up. So that's why in the summertime you can't find the candle makers because we're literally out. Saturday, I look Friday. I be like, look, my girl A Boogie, she be like, I'm out Friday. I got an event Friday night. Me too. Friday night and Sunday. I got one. Yeah. So I be having like, listen, this is the summer. Okay. So we're out literally making money. So when I walk away from an event with $200, I'm not sad because that was $200 more to my income than what I had. And then it was one night I walked away with like 300. I was like, that's good because that's more to my income than what I had. So this is what happens when you invest into your craft. Okay. This is what happens. So the most dangerous thing that you could do as a candle maker is fail to do the fail to spend the correct time to test and just try to push your stuff out there just to get it out, just to sell it. Like you need to make sure that you are literally um hey, that's good. That's good. That's my Philly girl right there. That's the one of the most dangerous things that you could do is to launch a business without doing the right research and the right testing. And so that's important. That's important. That's important. That's important. Um, and it can honestly just be like a whole big situation where it's a waste of money. I wasted a lot of money, and I'm reminded of it every time my daughter dad stopped by and he see all this stuff in my garage and he like, yo, that's just so much money was wasted. That's a lot of money. But to me, it's like I still won't stop because I know that it's an investment. I messed up a lot. I learned a lot. You know what I mean? Like even down to stuff like this. These sat in the box for almost 2 years. They smell really good, but look what happened to the outside of them. That was from me going to pop-up events and over preparing, meaning that I took more than what I needed. But on the outside, you see all of that brown stuff? Yep, that's from the candle sitting for all them years, sweating, fragrance, and all that kind of stuff. So, I just had to learn. Like when I go to events now, my girlfriend told me last night, she was like, don't make one candle. She was like, take everything you already got. Don't make one candle. I was like, I'm not making no stuff. Like no kind of products. Like everything I got is what I have. Like this is what I have. I got this still in the bowl from us messing with this the other day. And I gotta like package this up. But it's what I have. It's what I had. Remember this, the clump free. We did this the other day. The clump free carpet fresh. I've been using it. Oh my God. When I tell you I love this carpet fresh. Yes. She said, can I come to the class and take notes? I don't have any vessels because I want to change them. Yes, but this is what I suggest you do. I suggest you bring the vessel diameter so that you can get the wick size for it. Because if you get the class and you don't have that, the vessel diameter, then you back at, square one. Yeah, so I ain't making nothing new for my pop-ups. I'm just going with whatever I have, and we just gonna sell that out for the rest of the summer. And when it's going, it's going. I'm done making stuff. My whole garage is full of soap. I got over. When I tell y'all, I got hundreds of bars of soap. Like literally, I have too much soap. I got too much soap. I got the laundry soap. I got the bar soap. I got lotions. I got doggy perfume. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see you later, my Philly girl. I got doggy perfume. I got room sprays. Now we got the car freshies, the candles, the wax melts, wax melt dough, because I got dough too. Um, I got so much stuff that I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Yes, she said I use a status jar and the amber jar, so um she said I'm good there. I just need to get the wax. Okay, so make sure you get your wax, and then you just send me an email if you want to do it beforehand, and just reply back to your confirmation email for the class. All right. So I only had them classes like once every 6 months. The only reason why I had it is because I had such an uproar in the Patreon with the new members asking all these questions and stuff like that. And we don't have time to answer all them questions and stuff because everybody is busy. So we don't have time to sit there and the whole, should I use this kind of wax? Should I use that? Can I use this as my base? Can I use this as my this that? We don't have time. So because we don't have time, I was like, let me just do let me just do it because I don't want to have a basic candle making class because my Saturdays are so busy now. And sometimes the baby is home and she be tripping on them kids. So I was like, I don't have the time, but I was like, let's just do it and get it out the way. So we normally do one. We used to do them very often, but now it just be like maybe once or twice a year we had one. So make sure you do take your time and get there. So yes, we talked about the ant. We talked about gathering in the right season. Right now, you gather. You go on Eventy, and look up stuff. Eventbrite, Eventy, Google. Google is your best friend. Look up vendor events, vendors wanted, things like that, and just start looking up, and you'll start seeing things within your state. It'll come up. Some stuff will already be done. Like it was one thing that I was signing up for. It was 2 hours away, and it was in Alabama, and it was called The Spirit of America is in Alabama, and I was going to sign up for it, and I was like, I missed the deadline. But it was okay because I got so many other events that I'm doing. So, you guys come. Come to the class. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys up because I have to go out and I have to do my shopping for my event tomorrow. I got to make sure I have everything. Um, our freshie class is coming up, so I need to make sure I order my supplies for the class too. And we're going to just go from there. I'm going to see all of you guys in that candle making class. If you've been on this thing all this time and you did not click off of it to purchase your class, you are crazy. We're going to have a good time. So I'm going to see you guys in that particular class. But remember, send me an email, like reply back from your confirmation. If you get the confirmation and it says thank you for your purchase and it got the PDF and everything, reply to it because it's coming straight to me. All right. And then I'll reply back to you and I'll send you what you need if you want to get started like now. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and go get my supplies. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day, and I will see you guys again soon. Okay. So we've been on here 78 minutes. I spent a lot of time with y'all. So we done talked about the ant backing it up. We done talked about burning up the house. We done talked about so many things. We talked about my the misfortune things that I experienced in the beginning that made me quit. People who stole from me. We talked about a whole lot. So if you're coming in the end, you got a whole lot to catch up on. All right, and I will answer your message in Patreon. I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful week. All right. She said, I tried doing the freshies a few years ago. They do not last. Ashley, you crazy, girl. These things last and they smell strong. The different, with the freshies, it's all about your temperature and it's all about your timing. And it's all about the fragrance that you use as well. But yes, they last and they're very strong. They're really strong. And I love the fact that when you make them, you could package them up and they stay in that package. And the longer they stay in there, Thank you. The longer they stay in there, the stronger. They're strong. So if you come into the freshie class, yes, freshies. You talk about freshies, right? Because I just pulled out all them freshies. I don't know if y'all was on here to see them. I had all of those freshies or whatever in the box, and I pulled them all out. If you come. We going the class is free. If you're in the Patreon on the $20 level, it's free. You're gonna learn how to make them, and if I'm selling them, then they last. Cause I'm not gonna sell no bull crap. So you already know if I'm selling them, I'm gonna give you the highest fragrance load, and they're gonna last. So just come. I'll see you guys later. All right. I love you guys.